Today we're going to do a video that we've gotten a lot of questions about, and that is just sharing some things about our wedding. So I went through and kind of picked and choose questions from some wedding tags. A lot of them were a little longer than would apply to our wedding, like what kind of flowers, all sorts of stuff that we didn't really worry about. So I've limited it to 10 questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Question number 1. Who proposed and how?
I proposed to her.
Yes.
We were moving from my tiny little apartment or 1-bedroom apartment to our 2-bedroom apartment.
Right across the parking lot.
And I remember I had the ring on my backpack and I had it there for a week. And I didn't know how to ask.
Not entirely true. You were going, well, you did. You took me to a Colts football game and you were going to propose there, but you would have had to wait over a month.
Yes.
So then you had to come up with a new way.
I'm pretty bad at just keeping secrets.
Yes.
So I wanted this out, like it was eating me inside, so I really wanted just to get it over with.
Something everyone wants to hear about the proposal. I just wanted to get it over with.
Yes, because I just wanted to ask you, you know, how I am with, like, how anxious I get with stuff like that. So, yes, it was pretty bad. My feeling of being all anxious and all that. I was very happy. Hopefully she was going to say yes, obviously. So we were in the other apartment, and I asked her if she had...
The new apartment.
The new apartment. We had boxes everywhere and everything. And I remember I told her, ooh, I need to go get my something in the other apartment. So we went to the other apartment, to the old one. And I went and got the ring. And I'm like, ooh, I think I need something else on the other one.
And I was getting very confused as to why we were ping-ponging back and forth.
And I think I got her, like, in the kitchen of our new apartment. Mm-hmm. That was going to be our first night in our new apartment. Mm-hmm. And I proposed in the kitchen. I wanted to ask you something, and I got the box out, and she knew what that was going to.
You did a good job. I was surprised and impressed.
Yes. Okay, when do you get married and where?
So, we have the somewhat unique pleasure of jokingly having gotten married twice. And that was because we knew we were going to have our big wedding in the summer of 2015, but same-sex marriage was not legal yet nationwide, nor here in Texas. And we wanted to be legally married at the end of our wedding, if that makes sense. So we flew to Seattle, Washington in October of 2014.
Yes.
And got married. And then we also got married here in Texas in July of 2015.
Yes.
But legally we've been married since October 2014. Question number 3, how long did it take to plan the wedding? Which wedding? The first wedding was super easy. We basically just got the tickets to Seattle. I called around and found a judge.
We got the permits.
Yeah, we got everything ready to go. It probably total, like bought plane tickets, hotel, a couple hours maybe. And it was really low key. It was courthouse, just signed the documents, and then we went out to eat with some friends. The second wedding, though, the actual, like, big event wedding, months. Right?
Yes.
And we weren't doing a very good job of being on top of planning it. So our friends jokingly became our wedding planners and sat us down and, like, they would give us homework. So they were like, by this date, you have to have your guest list done. By this date, you need to pick your venue. And we needed that. I never particularly cared if I had a big wedding, but you really wanted to have, like, a wedding.
Yeah.
So I was happy to help, but I wasn't maybe as motivated as I could have been to be proactive.
Yeah, I think I just wanted something to share with my family that, like, kind of saying, I'm off. I'm just kidding.
You're off?
I'm starting in this new life kind of thing. Like,
you wanted the celebration. You wanted the big celebration.
I wanted a celebration. Question number 4. Do you have a theme? Kind of.
What?
A rainbow. Everything was
That wasn't
colorful.
really themed, though. That was just like, no, that would have been our colors. So maybe instead of did you have a theme, I should have kept in what were your wedding colors. So we didn't really have a theme, and we didn't. I mean, yeah, I guess rainbow, but
That's it.
Question number 5: how many people attended? Our legal wedding, it was just us, and then one of your really good friends and her husband lived in Seattle, and they very graciously agreed to be our witnesses, and then we went out and celebrated with them afterward. And I should note, we did tell our parents before we eloped, but otherwise we kept it secret. We didn't tell anybody. And then the wedding in the summer,
The one in the summer we had like
maybe
around
100? Maybe?
Yeah, it was probably a little bit less than 100.
We easily could have gone over that amount, I think, if we had done our wedding either where your family lived or my family lived, but because everyone had to travel, we very understandingly expected it to be lower numbers, which was fine. I preferred a somewhat smaller wedding. We easily got around all of our guests. We got to enjoy everybody, I think. So yeah, it felt good to me, number-wise.
Yeah, we got to like enjoy our venue too.
Yes, we
So-
loved our venue. We
It was
did the
pretty awesome.
wedding part, the actual ceremony was outside in Texas in July, so we had told everybody, like, look, come as casual or as formal as you want. We're very understanding. It's going to be hot. And then the inside venue kind of looked like, almost like the inside of a barn, but nicer.
A nice barn.
Yeah.
Next question will be question number 6. What food do you serve, and do you serve alcohol?
So I'll do the alcohol part, and I'll leave the food to you.
Okay.
We did do alcohol. We did a selection of beers, and we had margarita machines.
Yes, and for the food, we did some kind of Tex-Mex kind of thing. We did carne
Was it
guisada.
Tex-Mex, or was it
It,
more Mex, less Tex?
it was more Mex, less Tex. It was carne guisada with beans and rice, and I think we actually served vegetarian options too.
Yes, if you RSVP that you're a vegetarian,
Yes.
she accommodated. It was a coworker of yours' mom did catering, and it was, everybody loved it, especially my family from the Midwest who wasn't as used to having sort of traditional Mexican food, loved it.
I know, and again, I had the possibility of just asking one of my coworkers' mom, and it worked out.
Yes, and she gave us a good price, which was sort of a theme of what I was looking for the wedding. And not because I wanted to cheap out on it, but I really wanted to have a very fun honeymoon. And we'll get to that later. Question number 7: did anything go wrong the day of? The only thing I remember is the officiant was late, very late, which was like, we've talked about it before. I'm a very punctual person. I don't like it when people are late, so it was driving me nuts that she was late. However, it ended up being good that she was late because nobody then had to know what.
That I was running late.
Yes, she was nowhere near ready. So by the time the officiant got there, you were
I
ready.
was, yeah.
But if she'd been on time, the whole thing would have been held up for you.
You know. So she got there at the same time that I was ready. So it was.
It
like,
was late
perfect
though,
timing.
right? It was like 45 minutes late.
It was bad.
Which meant by the time, she got out there, we got out there, the whole thing, I think the ceremony started at least an hour late. So.
But it worked out.
Is my hair
Question
done?
number 8. What was your favorite moment? For me, it was probably when I finally was in front of you.
Like the actual ceremony?
Mm-hmm.
Our ceremony was neat because obviously since some of your family was there, we needed some of it to be in Spanish, and obviously because my family was there, we needed some of it to be in English. The officiant was bilingual, and we basically just did like your whole part was in Spanish, and everything the officiant said she did both in English and Spanish, and then my whole part was in English. So I did like that. But I think my favorite part was right after the ceremony. We'd gone back into your dressing room and just like sat, and we ate a little bit. You had some margaritas. And yeah, we just had some time together. So I liked that a lot. And our first dance.
Our first dance too.
But I think that's kind of cliche. And I don't really like dancing, but I liked having that moment with you.
That was pretty nice.
Yeah. Question number 9. Any advice for future brides?
From me, you're gonna panic. It doesn't matter what happens. Everything will be okay.
Yeah, mine would just be don't sweat the small stuff. Like I said, the officiant was late and I was freaking out about it, but our guests were fine. We had put out like a candy bar and some snacks and stuff. and everyone was perfectly happy to hang out in the air-conditioned venue. And then when it was closer to when the officiant was ready, then they all went outside. So things are gonna go wrong, whether they're little or small, but at the end of the day, it's just a day to have fun and celebrate love, so it's not worth getting worked up about. I think the only time I really got worked up about anything, though, was the officiant being late. I was very frustrated. But, yeah.
And question number 10. Where did you go on your honeymoon?
Where didn't we go? We did.
Best honeymoon ever.
Yes. The best part about it was, since she's a teacher, she gets all of June and July off. And I was working for a nonprofit agency that works in schools, so I got the entire month of July off. So we traveled the entire month of July. We didn't know where we were going to go. We just knew we were going to do a big road trip. So we didn't have a plan going into it. I think we ended up just randomly driving up towards Dallas, right?
Yes, that was like, we didn't know where we were going to end, so we just started driving towards Dallas. Once we got to Dallas, we kept driving.
Yeah, we ended up going through Amarillo, New Mexico, Colorado. We did all of those national parks up there. Grand Tetons, Yellowstone. And then cut all the way over to Seattle because we wanted, at that point, we were close to Seattle, and wanted to go back to kind of celebrate our wedding.
That's
where
funny
we got married.
We just drive through. We didn't stay there.
We stopped for a meal, and then we stayed in Tacoma, right?
Yes.
And then we drove down Highway 1, saw the Redwoods, drove over to Vegas, the Hoover Dam, Lake Mead, Grand Canyon. And then by that point, after the Grand Canyon, we pretty much had to haul straight back, right? Because it was almost, we wanted to make it to El Paso for your dad's birthday.
Yes.
And then we needed to get home because I had to start work again. So yeah, just lots of driving, lots of camping. We really wanted to do a combo of like camping and hotels, but it kept rain. I think every night it rained.
It rained.
Which meant the tent was wet, and we had to put the tent away wet, which meant if we didn't get it back out that night, it would have gotten moldy. So it was fun. You had never been a big camper, and I love it. So yeah, it was really fun. It was a whirlwind. We didn't get to spend a long time anywhere. I think the longest time we were in any one place was Vegas.
That was only 3 nights?
Yeah, that was only 3 nights. And we weren't like on the strip in Vegas. So, well, one night we were.
One night we were on the strip, and the other 2 nights we were closer to the lake.
Yeah, but yeah, that's sort of the short version. Anything else?
What else? No, I really like our honeymoon. I enjoy your wedding.
Both of them.
Both of them.
But, all right. Well, I think that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.